My name is Vishakha Singh, and I have been a part of this very successful entertainer called Kanna Laddu Tinasya. I don't know how many of you have seen the film, but it's the first blockbuster hit of 2013, and yeah, I'm the heroine of the film. My last film was a film called Pidichirk. My last Tamil film was a film called Pidichirk that released 4 years back. And the question that I get asked most often by journalists lately is, 4 years? How come a gap of 4 years between two Tamil films? How did you make this comeback? Heck, am I even allowed to make this comeback? Because actresses are supposed to have a shelf life of 4 or 5 years. And especially in a competitive scenario where you have truckload of fresh talent coming in by the day, directors and producers wanting fresh faces every day. So where does this girl come in after 4 years, makes a comeback, and the film is a hit? My answer is very simple. It's destiny. You know, I've always believed in two things. When something is meant for you, it will find its way to you. Not sooner, not later, but at the right time. And when you're destined for something, no matter what, the universe does conspire to give it to you. Very simple words, but have always remained true for me. You know, when I was born, my grandmother made 3 very practical, critical observations about me. She was actually quite upset that I was a girl, and I was dark, and it would be quite a problem to get me married off. And you know how that it is in India. Everybody wants a fair bride. So it was a very, very practical observation. She was very, very worried about how I would go forward in life. Well, it just so happened that this story was quite often repeated in family gatherings, in jest, of course. I grew up in a very loving family atmosphere. I have elder siblings who really protected me, took care of me. But this was so often repeated, you know, oh, she's the dark one. Oh, your brother and sister are so fair. How come you're dark? It was all in good fun. But nobody really realized the kind of havoc it can play in a young mind's, in a child's mind. I actually grew up with a very deep inferiority complex of being dark. And so basically the point I'm trying to make is that being good looking is a prerequisite to be a part of the film industry. And never once did I look into the mirror and said, oh my God, I'm so pretty, I ought to be in films. That never happened. I was a very good student in school. I was everybody's favorite. The teachers loved me, my juniors loved me. I had some very good friends. And so yeah, acting was never on the radar. When I was growing up, my parents put a very strong emphasis on me participating in extracurricular activities, and they would push me so much. I would actually wonder, why can't they be like normal parents and just ask me to study, which is what most Indian parents do. Study, you got to come first. Study, you got to go into IIT. Study, you got to be an engineer, doctor, lawyer. My parents never did any of that. In fact, I remember I was studying very hard for my exams in class 10th, and you know how important boards are. I was staying up the whole night and studying, and my dad said, do you want to come first in your class? Why are you studying so hard? Just sleep, get some sleep, that's it. That's the kind of chilled out parents I've had, so I've been very lucky there. And yeah, so the emphasis on extracurricular activities continued, so much that it became a habit. As I said, I was the cultural captain of the school. I participated in everything possible, from declamations, debates, extempores, dramatics, dancing, writing plays, everything possible. Little did I realize that this was actually laying the grounds for my future, and I had no idea destiny and fate was doing this to me. And yeah, but when it came to actually choosing a course after class 12 to finally decide on a nice, safe, solid, decent career option, acting was not on the radar. As I said, my family's full of engineers, doctors, lawyers, and my dad's a businessman. He's an engineer, of course, but he's a businessman. So this was obviously not on the radar, and I thought, okay, I'll take a detour, I'm different. So I was allowed to take a detour, and I did my bachelor's in business administration. 3 years of solid going at 9 o'clock in the morning, attending classes till 5 o'clock, hard work. And I wanted to be doubly sure of what I really wanted to do in life. I had seen enough cousins, sisters, brothers, uncle, aunts, not being very happy in their profession. Yes, you reach a point, you make money, yes, but where is the satisfaction? So I said, okay, Vishakha Singh, you're going to be very sure of the choice you make. So what are you going to do? All my summer vacations, I went and took up a job. Summer vacations, winter breaks, a week break, I would go and do internships. I've been an intern at the biggest of advertising agencies, PR firms, marketing firms. I have worked in hospitality for a month at the Taj Hotel. And, I didn't want to waste time. I wanted to learn every day. And I thought to myself, okay, I'm not enjoying all of this. What is it that makes me happy? Have I lost out? Should I have been doing something else in these breaks? But looking back, I realized I learned 3 critical things. In all those little internships that I was doing, earning 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees, I learned to respect myself. I learned the value of money, and I learned dignity of labor. So today when I order food at a restaurant, I'm very courteous to the people who serve me. I get very, very upset when people talk rudely to people in the service industry. And yes, I tried joining the army also. The thought of Lieutenant Vishakha Singh really excited me. But no, I didn't get selected. And in fact, I really admire countries that put their young citizens go through compulsory military training, and I hope we have something like that in India, because I think it's just really, really vital. Pardon me, I'm a little nervous. Well, so during all these breaks, when I was trying to figure out what I really wanted to do, I went on a trip to Mumbai to visit a friend. And as luck would have it, I was shopping at Bandra. I don't know how many of you have been to Mumbai. So I was shopping in Bandra, and I got spotted by somebody who came over and said, hey, would you like to audition for an Ashutosh Govarkar film? Now, for those who don't know, Ashutosh Govarkar is the Oscar-nominee director whose film Lagan went to the Oscars. And he was making a film called Swades. And there I was, a very young girl, trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And somebody comes and says, Ashutosh Govarkar wants to audition you. And I was like, wow. So I went. The film was opposite Shah Rukh Khan. And I was like, oh my God, this is it. I auditioned. I got shortlisted. I was on hold for 4 months. And I did not get selected. I was told I looked too young next to Shah Rukh. Hey, what the hell? So yeah, I wasn't disappointed. I was exhilarated. Simply because if a director of Ashutosh Govarkar's caliber can see some talent in me, I must have surely got something, right? So yeah, that's when the acting bug bit me. But then I didn't have the guts to identify or pinpoint that I really wanted to take up acting as a career. Because acting is usually looked down upon. Acting in films, especially for girls, is looked down upon. It is not a respectable profession in India yet. So yeah, usually what happens, at least as far as my family is concerned, they're not starstruck. And for them, my dad's point was, what? Heroines and actresses are just brought in as props for entertainment, for relief factor. They'll dance around the hero and go back. So do you really want to do that? And I was like, no, maybe I'll just see. Maybe I should start doing ads, and I'll see where I want to go in life. And so that's what happened. I decided to do ads. And in the process, I met a director. I don't want to name him. He offered me a film, and I quoted a particular price. And he said, Vishakha, a heroine is the most dispensable variable in a film. To that, my reply was, well, sir, by all means, go ahead and take somebody else. And I stuck to my guns, and trust me, I did the film. I don't want to name him. You'll probably see it on YouTube somewhere. I did the film on my terms. But I wanted to laugh at his mindset. And unfortunately, it is true. It is true in a large number of cases. But I decided at that point that whenever I do a film, I would do a substantial role, not just be a prop. I don't want people to forget me. And it is at that time that I was offered this lovely film called Pidichirk. Unfortunately, Pidichirk didn't set the box office on fire. It comprised of newcomers, lovely storyline. It was released at Pongal with 8 other biggies, and we got lost. But till date, I get a lot of appreciation and feedback from fans or people who've appreciated my work. And that film got me into the Tamil film industry. And I would say it's been a milestone in my career because Tamil Nadu is a different world in altogether. I traveled to Kumbakonam, Tuticorin, and Madurai. I learned about little nuances about Tamil Ponnus, and that film made me grow as an actor. I learned a lot, means a lot in that film. Unfortunately, as I said, it didn't do well, and I said, okay, fine, enough of hobby, go back, let's finish education, pursued my post-graduation in advertising and public relations, and Dad said, enough is enough, let's get serious. And while I was seriously doing my post-graduation in advertising and public relations, I get called for this very famous Vivel ad with Vishaka, and this ad became a huge rage. I reached a point where I would go to airports and people would run after me saying, hey, Dal Divya, Dal Divya. I'd be like, Dhul Divya. You know, I don't know, the people who've seen the ad would remember Dal Divya, Dhul Divya metaphor. So, and I got a lot of marriage proposals. So there, I'm sure my grandmother would be happy now that, you know, I'm doing ads, I'm getting marriage proposals, so all that's sorted. Well, then, you know, every time I've decided to move on and do something else, films keep calling me back. So Puducherry didn't really do well. Done my post-graduation, did this great ad, and then I got an offer from an international production house for a film called The Genius of Beauty. Now, The Genius of Beauty is again a very special film because it was screened at the Marshidu Films in Cannes, in the Cannes Film Festival. We actually call it Cannes in India, it's actually Cannes. So this film was about a young girl called Titi Fokatchand. Titi Fokatchand is an 18-year-old girl who is dark. She's rich, her mother doesn't think she's pretty, and her mother has a bee in her bonnet where she wants her daughter to participate in a beauty pageant so that she can up her status amongst her kitty party friends. And I was playing this girl, Titi Fokatchand. And no guesses here, I completely identified. Not that my parents were crazy about making me participate in beauty pageants. But yes, this film really connected with me. And as it so happens in the film, this girl, her mother calls a surgeon from Europe who is supposedly supposed to perform a surgery and make Titi Fokatchand pretty. And this operation goes wrong, and Titi Fokatchand ends up with a contorted nose. Her mother then bribes the judges, and she still wins the beauty pageant, and this nose becomes the fashion statement, and everybody wants Miss Titi Fokatchand's nose. So this is the story of the film. I loved the film. I had a ball shooting for the film. I had prosthetics on. And in all these small little films that I was doing, I was slowly, inch by inch, growing as an actor. And as I said, this film really struck a chord with me because, like me, there are millions of other girls in India who are apologetic about their skin, about their color, and they do suffer from complexes. They use millions of fairness creams. And this is when I decided in my life that I would never, ever endorse a fairness product. You know, ideally when a person wants to become an actor, you would probably do an acting course. You would go for a dance class. You would do Bollywood action classes where you actually learn to do dishum dishum. And you would go for voice training and blah, blah, what all have you. And here I was doing everything that wasn't meant to happen. My life was going in a very haphazard way. And my journey was teaching me things. So in this journey, all of a sudden, I get a call from Ashutosh Govarkar's office again. The same person who's responsible for me auditioning for the very first time for Swades. I get a call from his office saying, you know what, we are casting for a film called Khele Hum Ji Jaan Se. It's a film set on set in the 1930s on the Chittagong uprising that we've read in our history textbooks. I don't know how many of you are good at history, so I don't know if you remember. But it's a book, it's based on a book called Do and Die by Manani Chatterjee. The film starred Abhishek Bachchan, Deepika Padukone, me in the parallel lead, and when I was asked to audition for it, you know, my education has programmed me to do research on everything I embark on. So I think I was the only one amongst the 100-odd other actresses who auditioned for it. I was the only one who first cut my nails. Sounds silly, but yes, I was the first one who cut my nails and went and gave the audition. I got selected. I spent a year on the film, wearing cotton saris, long braids, doing fighting, doing action sequences, firing pistols. Yes, apparently this character that I played, she's a real-life martyr in West Bengal who used to fire, pistols and guns, etc. I did the character for a year. I lived it. I was breathing the character for a year. And the film bombed at the box office. And that shattered me. That was the first time in my life that I realized I loved acting. I was passionate about it. And that you can be 100% honest and sincere towards your work, and it will still not pay you back. And that is why I think that's where the Gita says, don't expect fruits, just carry on working. Wow, I've really become wise, haven't I? Anyway, so I did get nominated for a couple of awards for the film, but I said enough is enough. Parents are waiting for the hobby to get over. Now let's get back to some work. I went to London, joined my dad's company. I was working, he's a venture capitalist, so I was working in his company for 6 months, and I'm on Facebook one day. I get a message from Guneet Monga. Now, Guneet Monga is a producer with Anurag Kashyap. If you're aware, Anurag Kashyap is the man. While Shekhar Kapoor put India on the map, on the international map, Indian cinema on the international map, Anurag Kashyap is the man who is responsible for the sea of change that has come into Bollywood. He has put indie films in all the festival markets out there. And Guneet Monga is the producer who works with him. And she sent a message saying she was looking for funds for a very small film to be made on a budget of 80 lakhs. That's probably 1/10 of what most of our superstars charge. So we were making a film on 80 lakhs, and she wanted funds. I said, send the synopsis. Sounds interesting, and I'm a gypsy. I'm always open for risks. So she sent me the script. It seemed interesting. A couple of us got together, raised the money, and we shot the film on a shoestring budget, as I said, 80 lakhs. Nobody was paid. Our actors, technicians, everybody had profit sharing with us. And I'm very proud to say the film was selected at the Cannes Critics Week last year in 2012. We made the rounds of Toronto Film Festival and London, etc., what have you. Vasan Bala is the director, and the film has been brought by Eros, and we are in profit. We also went on to make another film on the same lines in July last year. That's a film called Haram Khor. Both these films are releasing this year. So yes, I'm a very proud co-producer of these films. Now, I can't find my placards, just a second. I'm very proud of the profits that we've made. I'm proud of the films that I've done. I don't know where I'm headed. And in July, I was happy. I said, okay, fine, maybe I should take up production. I'm doing my dad's work in his company. That's great. Now what next, Vishakha Singh? And out of nowhere, I get a message on Facebook, thank you, Mark Zuckerberg again, from the assistant director of Kannala Dutenasya, saying, you know what, my director's casting, Santanam is the producer, would you want to audition? I said, sure, why not? And as luck would have it, I auditioned for the film. I got the film. As I said, it's destiny. I got a film with Vikram Bhatt's production. It's a film called Ankur Arora Murder Case. They had seen my film with Ashutosh Govarkar. They liked the work, and that's the reason they took me on. I signed another film with Eros, again on the basis of my previous work. I signed a film with Farhan Akhtar Productions, again because the director had seen Ashutosh Govarkar's film. So basically, you see, nothing goes waste. Even though the film bombed, I got 3 more projects at the right time when it was supposed to come to me. And I'm also doing a Malayalam film right now because the director liked my work in Pidichirk, a film that happened 4 years ago. So yes, it's come full circle. I don't know where I'm headed. I don't know what I'm saying, if it's inspiring anybody. All I know is that in all this, I've just discovered that, hey, I love acting. It's a serious proposition. I am going to take it up seriously. It's no longer a hobby. And for anybody else who cares to become an actor, especially an actress, all I can tell you is, please, guys, just finish your education. Please do that because you need a solid backup in life. And education will never go waste. It'll always stand you in good stead. And in my closing remarks, I just want to quote 2 of my favorite actors. If you have a dream, pursue it, no matter how crazy it is. No matter how crazy it is. And as Russell Crowe said, ludicrous as it may seem, it is possible. Go for it. And if that doesn't happen, don't stress too much, because as Morgan Freeman says, life unfolds as it should. Thank you.